everyone, John here from All Miniatures Great and Small, and today's episode of What's on the Table is a little bit of everything going into this holiday season. After Christmas, before New Year's, everyone's home, and just kind of my painting attention is scattered to all the different kinds of projects that I have on my table. So I thought I would show you everything that I've worked on this week. And there's even more that I couldn't fit on here. So let's go ahead and start. In order of closest done, I've got these BattleTech Battle Mechs from the starter box. I've got some more Battle Mechs in some other boxes that I haven't shown you guys yet. I've got an unboxing of a couple other products, but these are the two out of the starter box, since we're going to start there. So some hand painting, my terrible hand painting. I found some numbers from, I believe that's Aeronautica Imperialis numbers that I just kind of slapped on there to add some contrast. There's a decal of a stripe there, but otherwise just something very simple to get these guys going. I kind of like how they turned out. So these are almost done. I need to do a little bit more work on the base, but I'm probably not going to put too much more time into them. But I kind of liked them, and as a follow-up to the BattleTech starter box unboxing, here is what they look like. So that's those guys. Next up, I want to work on my Team Yankee. I might be able to get a game of Team Yankee in with my friend Mark in the next couple of weeks, and I don't know if I'm going to be playing Soviets or if I'm going to be playing NATO, but I thought I would mess around and play with a painting scheme. This is similar to what I've already used for my Soviets years and years ago for a Shifting Sands. It's just very basic, and this is the basic paint job done with some dry brushed highlights. I'm using the there it is, this Russian green Vallejo surface primer that I've had for years as the base, and then just kind of built up a couple of layers, a little bit lighter. I would normally airbrush it. This guy just hand painted. There's not much to these, and the Team Yankee starter set that I did a recent review didn't have decals as far as I can tell, and I think decals are one of the things that makes something that could look rather bland pop just a little bit. So I don't know if I'm going to hold off to weather until I can obtain some decals, or if I'm just going to go ahead and weather this guy. But I really like it. This is a T-64 out of that new box set. Really cool looking tank. I need to add the commander and paint the machine gun, then weathering, and call this guy done. The other thing I did was I found in my garage, looking for Christmas things, a set, a starter set. Is like the Fury starter set. Anyway, I had one Tiger, one Stug, and a couple of Shermans in it that I'd gotten for review, and I just kind of put in the garage and forgot about it. But I built the Tiger, and this is the first time I've built the Tiger plastic kit. This was the color it came in, and I really liked it. It was a cool little build. It was more complicated than most Battlefront tanks, but it was actually kind of fun to build, and I enjoyed it. The detail's really nice on this kit. So you may notice, or you may not, that's not a German in that hatch. Rather, that is a Soviet. This is going to be going into my Soviet army, so it will be painted green. So I'm kind of excited to add that to my Soviets. And it's just kind of one of those fun units that the Soviets can take. You can only play with IS-2s or T-34s so many times. I think this replaces the little scout cars, which is kind of awesome, but we'll see that. So you have that to look forward to. Probably in another week or two, it'll be in a much more paintable state. Next up, I've been working on Aliens figures. So my thought is, none of these guys are done, but the thought is to get them to a place where I can actually play with them, and then finish them if I want to later. So basically, this is a combination of contrast and regular paints The light khaki is contrast, the flesh is contrast, the armor is Vallejo, olive drab. And then the base will be metallic with a black wash. I haven't got the black wash on there. But that's kind of the idea, to get them to a basic playable state. And then once everyone's done, I can go back and do camo if I choose. That way I can actually start, I want to film a starter game for you guys, so that way I can actually do it with painted figures. So I've been working on a lot of those guys. There's Crow. There's Newt. And Ripley. Still need to work on her shoes and a couple of details. But anyway, you get the idea. So I've got those. Some of these guys are actually more in the progress state. This is Sergeant Apone. You can kind of see I'm doing the contrast stuff first, because if I make a mistake, it's easy to cover with that dark, olive drab U.S. Army color. Brown violet, that's what it is. So I've been doing a lot of that. Also the aliens. Still trying to figure out a way to do these that I like. I think I'm going to settle with this and maybe just gloss the head a little bit right here. Same plan for the bases. There's just 16 of these guys. You can see. Then in the in the box where I'm keeping my aliens, I also keep the aliens for the old AVP board game. So I'm actually starting to paint these. I put primer on this just like these guys, and the contrast black really doesn't want to stick well to these guys, so I put them to the side and I'm dealing with the plastic ones first. Probably another coat will cover all these, but he just looks terrible. And yes, I don't mind showing you my terrible miniatures. Next up, this isn't painted at all, but I assembled the Queen from the Get Away From Her You Bleep expansion. I'm definitely going to paint her, but I did want to compare it to show you guys. I want to paint this one from the Alien vs. Predator game as well. I think this is kind of the superior sculpt. The resin versus the plastic is more obvious, but both of them are pretty cool. We rewatched Aliens just recently, getting in the mood, and how spindly and skinny the Queen is. This Queen's a lot more beefy. But you know what? They both look awesome, and they're both going to get built and painted. Lastly, just for fun, my daughter got a fairy garden for Christmas, and she asked me to paint one of her fairies. So I am working on this gal as well. Just a terrible sculpt, terribly put together, and these wings are kind of a rubbery plastic. But something like this for a painter is just good practice. And it made my daughter happy. She wanted one. She sits next to me painting, and it's a kind of a fun way to get the family together. So there you go. I even paint garden fairies. So that's a fun thing I did for my daughter. But there you go, guys. That's just a look at some of the craziness that has been on my table. I probably will have one more video out before the new year, or on the new year. And but until then, I want to thank everyone for watching the channel. Please do give us a like and subscribe. That helps so much. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much for watching, and keep on wargaming.